Hey everybody, Daniel here. It's a very fresh winter's morning and as you can see it's quite cold. But I thought, well, I've got some material I have to run, why not make a video? So yesterday I went out to Hill End and there's absolutely no water there. I can't really do any panning. I found a couple of puddles where I could fill up my bucket and do some classifying, but that's about it. So I filled up a couple of buckets and I've brought them home. I'm going to pan them off and we're going to see how much gold we get out of those 4 buckets. So I think I've learned my lesson. Where I go is there's a lot of clay and the buckets I have don't have lids, so you end up with this in the back of your ute. Mess everywhere. So it's got all the silt and the water just settles at the top, and I thought it was all strapped in nicely, but of course it wasn't. So next job after this is to pressure wash my car. Just a bit of mess. Anyway, but let's get panning. This is my setup. The ducks pool, once again, I've had to kick them out. Got bucket number 1, going through the material now. Every pan I've done has had gold in it, so that's a good sign. But I've put hot water in that just so I don't get bloody frostbite on my fingers. So what I think I'll do is, instead of showing you each pan individually, I might do bucket by bucket. So this here is actually what I got yesterday out on site. So I found a little bit of a puddle I could get some panning on, but that's from 2 of those buckets. So that's not bad. So what I'll do is I'll weigh them up individually as well. First bucket is finished. So as we remember, this is from 2, the first lot. Now this is a rough cleanup of the first bucket. So a lot of fine stuff here I've had to clean up with soap again, but there's a few chunkier pieces. What I'm going to do now is put that in the bottle and transfer it to a cup, just so I can keep on going and keep them separate. 1 down, 3 to go. Like I said, gold in every pan. Some are better than others. There's a good example of a better one. Decent sized flakes and about 20 of them in there. It's awesome. Second bucket is done. Let's have a bit of a look. Oh, you can see there's a bit of gold in there. Let's give it a bit of a clean up now. Bucket number 3. Oh, this is so... all the silt. Oh, come on. Oh. Top layer's always hardest. Yeah, no. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Hey, no, get out of it. Ducky. Stop it. Dipsticks. Silly babies. Gold. This is bucket number 3. Honestly, I don't know how much I've got in here. I don't think there was as much material, but there was a decent sized flake. You'd almost call a mini picker in here. And what I remember, I'll get some soap in here and then try and do a bit of a clean up. Definitely not quite as much in this one. Not quite as much. There's a decent sized flake there. I'll just put it with the others. Hey, pecker. It's small, but I can pick it up, so it counts. It's a mini one. I don't care, it counts. They really are not impressed that I've got their bath. I think they're getting impatient because they're getting closer. Pan 4 final. It's what looks to be visually the least amount of gold out of the bucket so far, has yet yielded the biggest piece. So that's that. I'm dubbing the mini picker. So I'm going to get this all dried up and we'll weigh it individually and then all together and have a look. Now, time for the fun part. So I've got my containers here from each individualised buckets. The first one is actually buckets 1 and 2 from yesterday out on site. So I've got this here. So I'm going to do my little set of scales here and zero it out. Zero please, yes, thank you. Use this old envelope. So yesterday from 2 buckets, 0.29 is what I've got here. 0.29. All the good old yellow stuff in there. Next one, so 0.29 of that. I'll put that in our pan here. Do that out, so that should be the same. Righto. Bucket number 2. .13. Right, so in the bucket you go. Actually, this was the one, wasn't it? Bucket number 3. .13. Same. So that's consistent. Buckets 4. .06. 0.07, 0.06. 6. Okay. Last bucket. .07. So that's consistent. So that means I might have to do some more test panning around where I'm going for the last buckets there. Put that in. So this is all the gold from those, well, 6 buckets. So yesterday was only 4 hours there on site. And that was classifying everything and then bringing those buckets back with only panning out 2 buckets there. So that's a grand total of 0.68. I think 0.68 is a good effort considering the amount of material that I moved and classified down. It was actually quite a bit, but I'm finding now it's getting harder to get a larger amount. I have to work a lot more material. So it just means I need to do some more test pans and find out where I'm gonna pull the most. But that's not a bad effort. 4 hours actually in the dirt. It's about an hour and a half travel there, so there's 3 hours there and a couple of hours out the back here doing the panning. So monetary wise, not the best, but it gets me outside and keeps me out of trouble and it's fun. It's just treasure hunt going through dirt. But anyways guys, until the next one, keep finding that gold.